Here is the Burzes audiobook channel. You are currently listening to the fantasy novel, The Ethereal Journey. Chapter 6. Battle of Hanlin City. Li Qiang gradually calmed down. He felt a deep sense of sorrow in his heart, both for the family of Qi the Fat and for the soldiers of the Black Flag Army that he had killed. Regardless of the reason, taking the lives of so many people was not a happy thing. Suddenly, 3 more soldiers of the Black Flag Army burst in, shouting, "Quick, call for reinforcements. Our men are being killed." "Humph, it's too late for that," said Zhao Hao, his precious sword flashing like lightning across the sky. The soldiers were unable to resist, and 3 heads flew high into the air, followed by a gush of blood. "Master, there are more and more enemies. We can't keep killing them all." "Let's go," said one of Li Qiang's companions. "Qi, come with us." "It's getting late," urged Li Qiang. "Where can I go? My home is destroyed, my family is dead." "Mr. Li, you're a good man. Please take my son with you and give him a meal wherever you go," pleaded Qi the Fat, pushing his child towards Li Qiang. The child looked terrified. "Daddy, don't leave me. I need to stay with your mother, my baby." "Be good," said Qi, plunging a knife into his own belly. Li Qiang was taken aback and rushed forward to catch him. "Qi, no." Zhao Hao shook his head in dismay, never expecting that Qi, who had always loved money, would have such deep affection for his wife. Qi's mouth was frothing with blood, and he muttered, "Awan, I'm coming with you. Don't be afraid." Li Qiang's eyes welled up with tears. He gently laid Qi's body down and said, "Rest in peace. I will take good care of your son." A faint smile appeared on Qi's face, and his wide-open eyes slowly closed, a single teardrop of blood oozing out from the corner. Zhao Hao watched as Li Qiang slowly got up, sensing something different about him but unable to describe it. He carefully picked up the wailing child and said, "Master, let's go." Li Qiang nodded firmly and said, "Yes, let's go." As they exited the shop, Li Qiang raised his hand and a ball of samadhi fire ignited, engulfing the small tailor shop in flames. Suddenly, Li Qiang's heart hardened like iron. As they made their way east through the streets, he slew any soldier of the Black Flag Army he saw, rewarding them with a golden eagle. Many civilians who had not had time to escape followed behind them, hoping to flee the city with them. As they killed their way through, more and more civilians joined them, and by the time they reached the East Gate, there were nearly 1,000 people following them, making a spectacular sight. They could hear the sounds of crying and shouting coming from the East Gate in the distance. Zhao Hao said, "Master, it sounds like the Black Flag Army has sealed the gate." Li Qiang replied coldly, "Even if they brick up the door, I can smash it open." Zhao Hao thought to himself, "Wow, Master is really angry." The East Gate was like a battlefield of Azura, with defeated soldiers, officials, and civilians all desperately fighting the Black Flag Army to get out of the city. Everyone knew that those who couldn't escape would not survive. "You take care of the child and don't fight. Today, I'm going to kill without mercy," said Li Qiang. "Don't worry, Master. No one will touch this child," assured Zhao Hao. Li Qiang charged ahead like a bolt of lightning, his long howl echoing through the clouds like the roar of a tiger or dragon. The soldiers of the Black Flag Army looked on in horror as a mysterious young man, surrounded by a purple dragon of flaming fire, with a flock of small golden eagles circling above his head, wielding a seemingly lightning-charged spear, roared into their midst. The Black Flag Army was thrown into chaos. The young man in the middle of their formation waved his spear wildly, sending countless spear thrusts flying like lightning bolts. The golden eagles screamed as they swooped down from the sky, exploding in a series of blasts that tore through the air. The agonizing screams of the dying soldiers sent the remaining Black Flag Army into a panic. It was a massacre. "Get out of my way," roared Li Qiang like a god among men. The remaining soldiers of the Black Flag Army fled in all directions. The east gate swung open, and the surviving civilians, defeated soldiers, and officials flooded out. Those who escaped spread the legend of Li Qiang's battle with the Black Flag Army far and wide, praising him as the protector of the people of Hanlin. As Zhao Hao approached Li Qiang, he was shocked to see his master's face looking pale and drawn. "Master, you don't look well," he exclaimed. Li Qiang sheathed his spear and said, "I have expended too much of my qi. That last attack took a lot out of me, but I'll be fine in a moment." Suddenly, a voice called out, Mr. Li, it's me, Cheng Zizhong." Li Qiang turned to see an old scholar approaching him. "Old Cheng, why haven't you left the city yet?" he asked. Li Qiang exclaimed, "There's also Qiu Xiang and Chun Xiang." Where are Zhu Xiang and Lan Xiang?" Chun Xiang choked back tears and said, "Zhu Xiang is dead, and we can't find Lan Xiang. I'm so scared." Cheng Zizhong sighed deeply. "I didn't expect that the leader of the Black Flag Army would also know sorcery like Lord Li. They've been besieging us for over 10 days. We should have been able to hold them off, but this noon, the leader of the Black Flag Army, Gang, arrived. I don't know how he did it, but he managed to blast open the city gate. Commander Tong Fangzhen was severely injured, and that's how they broke through." Zhao Hao interrupted, "Master, this is no place to stay. Let's leave the city and discuss our next move." Leaving now? It's too late. How dare you kill so many of my men? I'll skin you alive and drink your blood." The voice came floating unsteadily from afar. Cheng Zizhong cried out in alarm, "It's Gang. You go first, I'll hold them off." Li Qiang quickly retrieved his 100-blade spear. "Master, let me test his abilities first." Zhao Hao handed the child to Cheng Zizhong. Li Qiang snarled, "No, go now." Anyone capable of blasting open the city gate with true essence power was undoubtedly a highly skilled opponent. Seeing Li Qiang's anger, Zhao Hao didn't dare argue further. With a heavy heart, he stamped his foot and said, "Master, please be careful. I'll wait for you outside the city." Li Qiang stood firmly at the eastern gate with his spear, smiling bitterly to himself. "Somehow, I got involved in this slaughter. Killing people is really not fun." Without any warning, a figure suddenly appeared 100 paces away from Li Qiang. Now much braver, Li Qiang activated his red dragon shield to prevent being caught off guard. He also sent 10 golden eagles circling in the sky and gripped his spear tightly, staring intently at the approaching figure. The man wore a set of black armor, with a black ghost mask covering his face. His silver hair contrasted strangely with the black armor, and he wielded a strange weapon, a blue, glowing orb. "Are you Gang of the Black Flag Army? Kid, you're the one who killed my men. How dare you? What's your name? Which sect do you belong to? Who is your master?" Gang's tone was arrogant and conceited. Li Qiang had never been afraid of a verbal confrontation. Even when he couldn't fight before, he had always been good with words. "Who am I? Listen up, my name is Li, and I'm your grandfather. Got that? I'm your grandpa. As for your little underlings, I didn't even consider them worthy opponents. They were just a pack of dogs, rabid dogs that your grandpa had to put down. You want to bite me? Ha ha ha." Gang's silver hair rustled in the absence of wind, and his body trembled slightly. He was filled with rage, and his black mask turned blue. Countless blue light filaments and tiny sparks emerged from the orb, flying towards Li Qiang. Gang also threw a thunderbolt amidst the light filaments. This thunderbolt was only the size of an egg and could only be used once, disappearing after detonation, but it packed a powerful punch. Most cultivators knew about it, but Li Qiang didn't, as he hadn't started his training from the basics. This put him at a disadvantage. Li Qiang waved his hand, sending 10 golden eagles screeching towards the attack. A bright white light followed, as countless spear thrusts collided with the blue light filaments, creating a deafening explosion. Both men were sent flying backwards. Li Qiang had been hit by the thunderbolt, while Gang couldn't withstand the onslaught of golden eagles. Gang realized that he was no match for Li Qiang, but he also noticed that Li Qiang seemed inexperienced. Thanks to the protection of his red dragon shield, Li Qiang wasn't severely injured, but he had expended too much of his true essence. Even the purple dragon protecting him appeared fainter. Li Qiang thought to himself, if I don't end this battle quickly, I'll be the one in trouble. It's time to go all in. Gang had the same thought as Li Qiang. He never expected Li Qiang to be more skilled than him. With a shrill eagle cry, Gang looked up in horror to see over 30 golden eagles lined up in a straight line, swooping down on him from the sky. He shouted, "Fine, I'll fight you to the death." The blue orb in his hand emitted a blinding light and flew towards Li Qiang. Instantly, the earth shook, and the sun and moon lost their light. Both men were unable to dodge each other's lethal attacks. The blue orb shot by Gang was a rare treasure called the Wu Qing Dan. It was refined from the inner essence of a monstrous creature that dwelt underground. The Wu Qing Dan could be used as a weapon, and its Mia Qing Si Hua attack was quite powerful. However, its most dangerous feature was its double explosion. The first explosion could shake a cultivator's true essence, affecting their control, while the second explosion was the real damaging blow. But once the double explosion was used, the Wu Qing Dan would disappear forever. Li Qiang suffered a great loss because of this. With his current level of skill, he could have easily blocked it, but his lack of experience was his downfall. The double explosion sent him flying over 30 meters away, and he spat out a mouthful of blood. His vision was blurred by golden stars, and his whole body felt weak. He thought to himself, what a strange and powerful orb. Gang fared much worse than Li Qiang. The golden eagles launched by the Eagle Strike crossbow were beyond his level of defense. It should be noted that this Eagle Strike crossbow was designed by Fu Shan in his early years and had been reforged by Li Qiang using the supreme method of heart forging. Although it couldn't compare to the treasures used by true experts, its power should not be underestimated. After throwing the Wu Qing Dan, Gang quickly moved aside while simultaneously raising 7 protective barriers. However, he had underestimated Li Qiang's golden eagles. 32 golden eagles swooped down one after another, detonating in a series of explosions that shredded his barriers. In the end, 2 golden eagles collided directly with him, and in a panic, Gang raised his left arm to block them. As a result, Gang lost his left arm. It was a Pyrrhic victory for both sides. A figure flashed into the east gate, picked up Li Qiang, and turned to run away. Master, are you okay?" Xiao Hao hadn't left at all, hiding in the corner of the gateway. Seeing Li Qiang blasted flying, Xiao Hao's face turned pale with shock. He rushed forward regardless of his own safety, picked up Li Qiang, and ran. Fortunately for Gang, if Xiao Hao had looked at him for even a moment longer, he would have realized that he was also in bad shape, and just one more blow would have finished him off. Li Qiang forced a smile and said, "Why haven't you left yet?" Xiao Hao urgently replied, "Master, I was worried about you." "Master, please rest a moment, and soon we'll catch up with De Gui." Li Qiang was deeply moved, not expecting his old disciple to care so much about him. Li Qiang asked, "Where are we going?" Xiao Hao said, "There's an estate in the Wind Chime town ahead. Originally, it was a gift from my descendants to me. Everyone who retreated earlier is gathering there to assess the situation." Li Qiang thought to himself, this place is really different from Earth. Even a merchant has his own estate. If it weren't for the frequent wars, this would be a nice place. He asked again, "How big is Wind Chime town? Is it fun?" Xiao Hao stumbled and nearly fell while carrying Li Qiang. He took a step and said, Wind Chime town isn't big, and there aren't many people usually. But it's very cool in the summer, so many officials and rich merchants build estates there to go and relax during the hot season." As he explained, he thought to himself, my master is injured like this, but he still wants to have fun. Such a broad-minded state is beyond my reach. Alas, a master is a master. He truly deserves admiration. If Li Qiang had known what Zhao Hao was thinking, he would have laughed until he died. His goal on the heavenly star was to have fun and wait for Fu Shan to come and pick him up. He had been involuntarily dragged into this war. In the evening, the two finally arrived at Banqining town. Li Qiang weakly pointed at the forest behind the town and said, "Is that the sighing forest?" Zhao Hao was anxious and said, "Yes, master. Please hold on for just a moment longer. We're almost home." After running all the way, Zhao Hao was also feeling a bit overwhelmed. The small Banqining town was packed with refugees who had fled, creating a chaotic scene. There were people crying, injured people groaning in pain, and others searching for lost family members. The miserable scene made Li Qiang feel sad, thinking, so this is the cruelty of war. The common people always suffer the most during conflicts. Zhao Hao didn't have time to care about all that now. Carrying Li Qiang, he quickly ran through the town. Not far from the small town, he saw the walls of the estate. Zhao Hao said, "Master, we're almost there." The gate of the estate was closed tightly as a security measure against thieves. Zhao Hao couldn't wait to knock, so he lifted his foot and kicked the gate. With a clang, the two blackened doors swung open, and the bull-thick doorstop snapped into 3 pieces. Zhao Hao hurriedly rushed inside, shouting, "Where is everyone? Come and greet our guest." Li Qiang chuckled and thought, greeting a guest. That has a special meaning on our earth. After 5 days of recuperation, Li Qiang slowly recovered, thanks to the purple flame heart, which was truly a supreme treasure for cultivators. Li Qiang stretched his back, walked out of the room slowly, and entered the estate in Banqining town for the first time. "Hey, Qiang and Xiao, why are you two here?" Li Qiang asked in surprise. "Good day, master," Qiang and Xiao said, their eyes sparkling with tears of joy as they saw Li Qiang step out. Their faces were filled with smiles as they bowed to him. Xiao said, "Mr. Zhao instructed us that if master wakes up, please come to the hall." Qiang happily ran outside and said, "I'll go tell everyone that master is here." Li Qiang smiled and said, "Qiang, I've told you not to call me master, but you never listen. Do I really look so old?" As he spoke, he struck a pose of an old man bending over and hunching his back. Qiang was amused and said, "Master, I have to call you master. It's the rule." Li Qiang sighed and thought, these girls are only 12 or 13 years old, the age when they should be innocent and carefree. I wonder how much suffering they have endured to dare not disobey such hateful rules. He said, "Lead me to the hall." He also took out 2 bags of plum candies from his bracelet and handed them to Qiang. As they arrived at the entrance of the hall, Zhao Hao, Cheng Zizhong, and Zhao Degui came out to greet them. There were also many gentlemen, officials, and martial arts experts in the hall. After introductions and exchanges of greetings, everyone took their seats. Zhao Hao insisted that Li Qiang take the seat of honor at the head of the table, and Li Qiang, unaware of the local customs, sat down without hesitation. Li Qiang asked, "How is the child of shopkeeper Qi doing?" Over the past few days, Zhao Hao had told everyone why Li Qiang had caused such a bloodbath in Hanlin City. Zhao Hao replied, "Master, rest assured. The child is in the care of Degui's wife and won't suffer any wrongdoing." Li Qiang nodded and asked Cheng Zizhong, "Old scholar, what's the latest situation in Hanlin City?" Cheng Zizhong said, "The Black Flag Army in Hanlin City has withdrawn. I heard someone say that Lord Li severely injured their leader and gang. I asked old man Zhao, but he said the situation was too urgent, and he wasn't sure what had happened." Li Qiang recalled the situation and said, "It's possible. In our final clash, Ngang and I were both severely injured. But at that moment, I was stunned by his black ball explosion. If it weren't for Zhao Hao rushing in to save me, I might have been finished. Li Qiang didn't hesitate to admit his failure. Everyone was surprised because what Li Qiang said was different from what Zhao Hao had said. Zhao Hao had claimed that his master had been severely injured while saving him. Cheng Zizhong added, "Yesterday, I met a friend who had just returned from the capital. He said that the emperor is aggressively recruiting soldiers, as if preparing for war with the Li Tong kingdom. The people in the capital are in a state of panic." This news immediately drew everyone's attention, and they started discussing it excitedly. Li Qiang hadn't expected the heavenly star to be so war-torn. If he didn't have powerful abilities now, he would have died a miserable death. Zhao Hao also hadn't expected Cheng Zizhong to share such important news with everyone, but the old man was knowledgeable and experienced. He said, "Everyone, please go back first. I think if old scholars' information is accurate, there will be an imperial edict coming down in a few days." Before everyone could disperse, a young servant came rushing in, stumbling and falling. He stammered, "I'm a master, master." Zhao Hao barked, "What's the matter? Why are you so flustered?" The servant took a deep breath and said, "There's an imperial edict. They want master to receive it." Zhao Degue stepped forward and slapped him, saying, "Speak clearly. Which master?" The servant pointed at Li Qiang and said, "It's Master Li." Li Qiang was shocked, and one name flashed through his mind, Feng Kaiyun. It must be him causing trouble. The 7th chapter ends. Thank you for listening. This is Burz's audiobook channel. Please follow me to get updates in the first time.